BLACKPINK needed to disband. From 9 is so underrated. Would you mind dropping the hype building? Popularity and talent are two different conversations. Also, thank you for 100,000 subscribers. It's a dream come true. I didn't expect any of this to happen, but thank you all so much. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. This truly made my day. Made me so happy. So yeah, onto the confessions and opinions. Did Minji give you trauma back in 2024? I'm guessing they meant Min Hee Jin and not Minji? Which Minji? I don't know, but yeah, New Jean situation 2024 with Min Hee Jin and Hype and everything. It was a time. It was certainly a time. BLACKPINK needed to disband. They are never active as a group and don't make music. They are soloists who collab, not a group. I disagree. I think BLACKPINK can stay as a group, but like not come back as often. Like there are still active groups that are still technically active, but they're just doing their own thing. But I guess BLACKPINK have kind of reached a status where they can do their own thing, and then every now and then they can come back. Like I would rather them come back as a group more often, but you know, sometimes we can't get that, but at least, you know, we still get music from them, we still get content from them, so it is what it is. Would you mind dropping the hype building? Anyways, I think K-pop companies should debut members around the same age. Like age gaps of more than 4 years seem weird in my opinion. It could be a 16-year-old teen with a 21-year-old adult, and now they have a concept problem. I think it's less of a concept problem, but more so of the younger members kind of growing up thinking they need to be more mature, and then they grow up at an unhealthy rate with an unhealthy mindset, and having that big age gap can really cause a lot of distress and even imposter syndrome for a lot of young idols, because that's what has happened in the past and currently happening. So I like, as long as like the members are within the same age range, it should be okay. Like look at 80s and Stray Kids and aespa and all that, whereas when there's a huge age gap, you can clearly see like the younger member trying a bit too hard to be more mature and be like the members, because you are like you're just like the people you surround yourself most with, the 7 people you surround yourself most with. So yeah, that's just how it is. And yeah, but I just wish idols didn't debut so young. As an OT7 engine, it low-key hurts to say this, but I feel like other idols who are going on hiatuses and leaving / getting kicked out of their groups are not getting the justice they deserve. His song has been a main topic for months, but I feel like some idols need the same amount of justice as his song is getting. We shouldn't give up on any idol because half the time they have to leave not by their own choice. Here's the thing, sometimes when K-pop idol leaves their group, sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I see why they left. Sometimes it's for the better, you know, to get out of a bad situation. But sometimes, yeah, it sucks. And then, you know, justice for them, why did they get kicked out and all that. And there's a lot of cases for that we do know and don't know. Like, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But yeah, just that at the end of the day, business is business. Members will leave. Sometimes we'll know why, sometimes we don't. And there's a lot of legal stuff, a lot of contract stuff that make sure that us fans don't know why. Hype's girlfriend is not entirely at fault. It's somewhat Cat's Eye's fault for not refusing to wear very revealing clothes. Okay, I guess this person is trying to talk about how Cat's Eye is very provocative in their style, I guess. And like, yeah, like here's the thing, there's many ways you can look at it. The company could be like, hey Cat's Eye, wear this, and Cat's Eye could be like, oh okay, and they do have a choice to wear it, and they do choose to wear such revealing clothes, and sometimes they're okay with it. And like, yes, I'm all okay for expression, but sometimes, you know, there are like showcases and events where there's a younger audience, so I feel like you should be mindful of that. But you know, there could be a case where, like, you know, it says in their contract they have to wear whatever the company tells them what to wear. You know, you can't just refuse, like, hey, they can choose not to wear this, they can choose not to say that. But sometimes there are cases where like they're kind of forced to say it. They're contractually obligated to say it. There's a lot of cases for that. And yeah, but if Cat's Eye wants to wear that, they can wear that. I think it's appropriate for Coachella and other festivals and all that. But you know, there are some times where I've seen in the audience where there are very young people, and it can be a bit too revealing, so I understand that. From 9 is so underrated. Stream their comeback, Vitamin Me, the whole album, Glow Me, best album of the year so far, in my probably biased opinion, but also unbiased opinion. But at the end of the day, who knows? But yeah, From 9 underrated. Stream them. Stand them, they're amazing. No fandom is innocent. K-pop needs a heavy fandom cleanse. I think fandoms in general, when it comes to what you see on the internet, the thing is, you've never like actually meet a lot of the fandom. You just see how they interact online, and the way people act online is completely different on the way they act in real life. Like, I don't act like this in real life. You don't see me wearing this in real life, but yeah, people are completely different on the internet to what they are in real life. So let's see if they would actually act the way they do on the internet and say what they would say on the internet. But I highly doubt they would. One member leaving the group really changes the group's chemistry and everything. You can't convince me otherwise. It really depends. Sometimes we can't be. It's all an act. How to say? Sometimes it's all an act that members are friends or whatever. Members actually like each other. Sometimes it's all an act. They pretend to do so just so that they can get work done. They can put out content, all that stuff. But like there's been a lot of groups where like, oh, it doesn't really feel like a member has left. Like look at Stray Kids. There's 8 of them, and ever since they've been 8, they've been more successful than ever. Same with Le Seraphim. With a member leaving, it doesn't always alter the group's chemistry and everything. Sometimes it's for the better. Sometimes it doesn't really change much at all. But when it comes to groups like Icon and then Hypen and New Jeans, there's that feeling and that vibe where it feels completely different. But sometimes with those cases, you got to move on. Popularity and talent are 2 different conversations. Yes, there's no exact correlation between popularity and talent. There's just because someone is really talented doesn't mean they're super popular, and just because someone's super popular doesn't mean they're super talented. That's just how it is. I'd rather wait for a masterpiece than get 5 rushed comebacks. Yes, as long as the length of time is worth the wait, because they're in Asian culture in general, it's overworking to the max, barely getting any sleep, and that's the case with K-pop as well. They do 3 or 4 comebacks now a year, which is very unhealthy, but it's also damaging on the quality of the music produced, because if you look at artists in Western artists like Beyonce, Rihanna, who's another one, Doja Cat, even like Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, they say, oh yeah, I've spent years on this album, and looking at the quality of the songs, you can tell. Whereas there are some really great K-pop songs that only took a few months to make, but that rush process is gonna kind of spiraling, and you get burnt out, and it will damage the quality of music. And I would rather a fantastic song at least once a year than 4 decent comebacks a year. That's how I personally feel. I'm an Answer, and I love NMIXX music so much, but sometimes I hate when some Answer acts superior or elitist when other artists, a song, or even NMIXX song itself isn't experimental. We get you like experimental or artsy music, but that doesn't mean the most normal popular song is worse just because it's not experimental. At that point, you just like the experimental tag. They like to be a bit pretentious, it's not that dynamic enough, it's not that unique enough, it's not that music is music. You like it or you don't. Don't need to say why you like it and why you don't. It is what it is. I like Gabriella and Animal by Cat's Eye, but I'm not into Gnarly or Pinky Up. But we all have our own taste. You don't have to be all pretentious and act real music actually sounds like, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's all it is. People should stop unstanding because they hate their fandom, because you're here for the idols, not the fans. Or should we just stop calling toxic fans because they do not deserve that? Yeah, I see that. The thing is that yes, you might be there for the idols, but sometimes some people don't want to be associated with that group of people, with the fandom. They just feel icky about it. I don't know if that's the right word, but they do feel icky about it. So, and then also the whole vibe can feel gross to them. Is that the word? Gross? I guess it feels gross to them, and they don't want to go to concerts with that type of fandom. And if you're being toxic, you don't deserve to be a fan. But I'm doing it to defend my faves. No, you're not. Well, even though you are, you're not doing it in the correct way, which makes you inconsiderate and disrespectful. BLACKPINK, to be honest, should really disband or shift to a new company with the name and song rights transferred to them, because it's not the same anymore. BLACKPINK is my all-time fave group, but looking at the way things are going on from group perspective, it's not the same anymore. Clearly they don't share that super close bond with each other, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but you can feel that the members are distant, and Rosé and Jisoo are the ones who actually kept the group dynamic intact during Deadline tour. It's become more of a duo. I'm guessing duo like Jennie and Jisoo and Rose and Lisa. And why are they so bad at that too? Or like Blinks did not pay a hell of a lot of money for this. I get the songs are repetitive at this point, but honestly the least you could do was care for the money and effort spent on supporting you in the concert. Yo, a lot of Blinks are not very happy with the way Blackpink have been moving this year. They weren't really happy with the recent comeback. They weren't really happy with like they get more solos than group work, and more solo activities than group work, and how there's a lack of effort in concert. It's very upsetting to see how Blinks are reacting to Blackpink. But like when it comes to like disbanding and shifting the name and stuff, I don't think they'll ever really properly disband. And YG know they won't give up the name or rights to Blackpink because money, and they're such a big draw, and they know how valuable Blackpink are, so they will hold on to Blackpink for as long as they can. So that's how it is. If a song needs 5 listens to become good, maybe it isn't good. I'd say 3 is the charm. Three is the charm. Like for the first time, it like the feeling is always irrelevant, even if I like it at first. Second time, it's like, okay, I get the vibe now. Now the third time is like, okay, let me really listen to this. Let me really feel it. Okay. And let's see. For me, it's 3. It takes me 3 tries to listen to it, whether I truly think it's good or not. K-pop fans really need to chill out. Yes, they do. Okay, I have a confession. I'm not parasocial, I promise. But sometimes I have trouble falling asleep, and I'm a very romantic person. So the idea of falling asleep within the arms of someone who is very comforting, and who would be more comforting than someone I really like. Yes, I picture my bias like with me in my sleep. I swear I'm not in a freaky way, and also I am very well aware that it's something that would never happen IRL. Is this weird? Yes. Does it work very well for my sleep? Yes. Will I stop? No. Stay mad. You do you, I guess? Hi, it's Hiran, and I was really bored. Also, it's midnight here. Anyways, my K-pop confession is here. One confession is that once I was in a subway, and I think a few weeks ago, there was this random lady next to me. I was minding my business scrolling on my phone. It was Instagram, and I have a lot of 17 and Enhypen on my feed, and this lady looked right at my phone and shrieked, not literally, saying, "Oh my gosh, I love Enhypen." And I was a bit surprised, mainly because she yelled in my ear, but I was like, hey, that's cool, and we started talking, and after a while, I began discussing about the Heesung and the whole situation, and she was like, "Who's Heesung?" And my mind raced with thoughts like, oh my god, what the hell, this cannot be happening now. Like, I was so shocked and stunned, like I couldn't talk for a minute straight, and I guess I was very scared because she looked at me like I'm the reason why he left or something, and I calmly tried to explain it to her. This might be long, but this is so shocking. Also, another one is about the Lulu fans, or fans who call them mommy or daddy or whatever. That's it. I can't express my hatred in words, but bye. I must sleep. Okay, so first of all, the one Enhypen fan, not knowing Heesung, that's a bit wild. I don't know how that happens. Maybe they were a fan after he left. I don't know if wait, a few weeks, yeah, maybe they became a fan of Enhypen after he left. But even though you would know about Heesung, but then yeah, secondly, K-pop fans calling idols mommy and daddy it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird in the whole context of things. So it feels very weird. As long as you're being respectful of it and the idol is okay with it, then I guess. But please be careful and be sparing with when you say it. Why do K-pop concerts don't happen in Middle East or India? I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Well, like in the Middle East right now, from what I know, from what I see in the news, it's not the safest place to go to and hold concerts at. And India, I don't know much about India, so I don't know why either. But I'm not a K-pop company, so I don't know how to plan things. Hey Eldrick, I'm a really big mower here, and I think that TXT is underrated and underappreciated. Yes, they have a really big fandom base, but honestly, I think they're still underrated. Like, not many people know about TXT music, and oh my god, I swear to god, TXT discography is amazing, like a choreo too. There's a reason why not many groups have covered TXT songs. It's because it's so hard. I also feel that mowers don't really vote for TXT that much. Like, I love mowers, they're so chill, but sometimes we don't vote for TXT, which is kind of sad, because honestly, TXT deserves all the awards they're nominated for. I mean, they're so hardworking, and they don't make TikTok music / trendy music but just to be popular. They chose to stick to their roots of creating meaningful music for mowers, and because of this big hit is kind of treating TXT like middle child, because TXT didn't want to make TikTok music. They literally said it in an interview. Oh my gosh, TXT does so much for mowers, and literally not just for mowers, but for everyone in the world facing difficulties. You don't find TXT finds you when you're going through the tough times. But now mowers are really hardworking too. Oh my god, TXT swept 5 awards at KMA and wanted their song. Oh my god, the concerts are so beautiful and it's unreal, like a fairy tale. And TXT literally can do any genre of music. Oh my gosh, they can go from rock stars to princes to rocks, haha. Anyways, TXT has one of the most beautiful stages ever for any performance, especially Mama performances. That's why they won Visa Super Stage Artist for Mama 2025. I hope TXT wins their song at Mama 2026. They deserve it all. Thanks, Eldrick. No worries. I love how you love TXT. They truly are amazing. In my opinion, they purely on music quality and production, TXT has the best 4th gen boy group discography. But please learn how to use a comma. Nmix is the best in vocals. Whew. Okay, in my honest opinion, it is Nmix, then aespa, then Promise 9, but that's only because Pebble Kiss is no longer a group. That's all I'm going to say.